All right, we're very fortunate today. We have an interesting gun to take a look at. This is the Smith and Wesson model 4566. A lot of people are familiar with the Smith and Wesson 4506. It is the third generation semi-auto that Smith and Wesson made in 45 ACP. Basically a double action to single action service gun, full size to say the least. This one is their slightly smaller version. It's about a 4¼ inch barrel. You could not call it a compact. It's about the same size as a SIG 220, but because the entire gun is carved from what appears to be a single piece of stainless steel, it's significantly heavier than the SIG 220. Pretty cool gun. So we'll take a look at it and get to play with it and shoot it before it has to go home. Very excited. And today we'll be shooting some of the oldest ammunition I could find. Some old steel case Wolf. So if the gun will eat this, it'll eat anything. So the 4566 is, as we say, you can't call it a compact. I would refer to this as being just a full-size handgun. A lot of the same features as all the third generation Smith and Wessons. It has a magazine disconnect, meaning if the magazine is not in the gun, the trigger doesn't work. With the magazine in the gun, the trigger does work. This particular model has the frame mounted or the slide mounted safety. In this case, it's really not a safety. What Smith and Wesson did was they made some of these with a decocker. So instead of, when I press down on the safety lever, if I release it, it pops back up. So the hammer's decocked, but the safety doesn't stay in the down position, so all you need to do is press the trigger to make the gun fire. You don't have to remove the safety, which is an interesting feature. I kind of like it. Other than that, it's kind of a standard full-size service gun. This one in particular is equipped with some Hogue grips. They're a little more grippy than the plastic ones that Smith & Wesson put on them. It's kind of a cool gun. Let's shoot it and see how it goes. One of the things about this gun that I really appreciate is the double action pull isn't bad. It's pretty smooth, but the reset for the single action is super short, very crisp. The single action trigger isn't that light necessarily, but getting there is very easy and quick, and it's probably maybe about 4 pounds, so it's not bad, but it's a really light or really short reset. Should make it pretty easy to shoot. The magazines for the gun are 8-round magazines, same thing that you'd use for the 4506, the 645, and all the other variants. So the load for the gun would be 8+1. It's pretty easy to find the Smith & Wesson branded magazines. Here's one with a plastic base plate. Here's an older one with the metal base plates. They're easy to find. You can also find some aftermarket ones. I'm not sure who made this one, but it's not Smith & Wesson. And it's even possible to find, they make some 10-round magazines for the gun. So if you wanted to load 10+1, you'd have that ability. Okay, we're about 20 yards away from the popper. Let's see how the gun runs. That double action trigger, very smooth. Single action is really nice. Loads nice. shoots well. All right, let's shoot some head box groups. See how it goes. Really smooth shooter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so they're all there. Not a bad shot group, just slightly low. Could be me, could be the sights. All right, shooting at a pretty decent pace. We got pretty good hits in the A zone. This is the miniature USPSA A zone. We're shooting at about 7 yards, so it's not bad. One thing I don't like about this gun is the magazine disconnect. With the magazine in the gun, you can press the trigger. With the magazine out, then you cannot. There's no hammer function. And I think the idea behind that was that, hey, if a cop is in a fight and he was able to drop the magazine, the suspect wouldn't be able to shoot him with his own gun. Or maybe it was a safety feature where somebody from Smith and Wesson said, hey, you take the magazine out, now the gun can't be accidentally fired. We've all seen that where people thought they'd cleared the gun, but there was a round in the chamber. In this case, it won't fire. Like anything else, it can probably be modified. If I were going to carry a gun like this, I might consider modifying it so that the magazine disconnect could be disconnected. Other than that, it's a pretty cool gun.